So, university or not university? That is the dilemma. In this video, I would like to give a perspective that is not too banal, even though these topics, this topic in particular of university is something that is talked about a lot, and people usually tend to have an opinion about this based on their class of origin, on their expectations, like from life, on their families and everything. So I went to university in Italy from 2015 to 2018. I only did the triennale, the triennale, that is like 3 years of university, basically the bachelor's degree, because in order to do the last 2 years, I wanted to do them in Venice. I would have had to graduate, it was before the 12th of December, and I actually graduated on the 12th of December in 2018, and yes, so it's funny, but it's like this. For this reason, for this like bureaucratic reason, I wasn't able to do the last 2 years. So basically in 2019, just after graduating, I found myself without connections, without university, of course, and I started working as a freelance photographer and videographer. And after 1 year, basically, when things were going well, more or less, and was starting to expanding slightly, you know, COVID came, and the rest is history. But today I would like to talk about the whole college experience, the whole university experience, and how it made me feel when I finished it, basically, at least during the first months. I'll start by saying that I studied visual arts, especially film. Like, in fact, I graduated in film history and criticism, and all in all, like, I really liked the whole thing, like studying film at university, because it was strange, like, to me, to go to school. Well, yeah, it's a kind of school, and hardly ever had to like study things that I found boring or uninteresting or this kind of stuff, because usually the subjects that I was studying, that I was like tests that I was preparing were interesting, were things that I was interested in. Also, the idea of discovering like a new city, in this case was Padua, the city where I went to study at university, because it was like much larger than my city of origin, and it was also interesting because, of course, in larger cities and studying like particular things, there's the possibility to meet new people that are actually interested in what you're interested in, so to make friends, to make more like specific friends from some points of view, and this actually happened to some extent. In short, there were all the prerequisites for like an important experience for my growth, like in general. And of course, I learned so many things about film, about the history of art, about theater, about music, that probably would have been difficult to learn like on my own without the right indications, the right books, the right texts to check this kind of stuff. And also the thesis period was amazing, because I was basically every day inside this sort of library. There was also a library for newspapers that is called hemeroteca, something like that. No, I don't think that it's an English word, but in Italian it was hemeroteca, and I didn't know about its existence before. And it was interesting because I was checking like the Cahiers du Cinéma, this kind of newspaper related to film, because my thesis was about Dogme 95, the Danish film movement from the 90s. So it was like a very interesting period, and I really felt like I was doing something important with my life, like I was waking up and I was going to Padua to check these texts, to develop my thesis, this kind of stuff. So it was like I have really good memories about that period, especially the last year of university. The problem was post-college in a way. So basically I started feeling like I had changed, I was growing, and also the world around me was changing, like I had changed during the years of university. And basically, like in short, I was an adult, and an adult is supposed to settle down in some ways, to find like a regular job. And yeah, I was in that kind of situation. So the only thing that motivated me in that period was the fact that I still believed that this piece of paper, this university thing was worth something, and I would have used it to find like a job in the arts or this kind of stuff. even if I knew like very precisely where I came from, like in the middle of nowhere in the countryside, this kind of stuff. So yeah, but still I was motivated because I just finished university, so I was like, okay, now I have this piece of paper, this degree that I can use maybe in some ways. And I was wrong, because the only thing that I managed to do like in the art field was working as a freelancer, and I had this feeling like thinking of that period that it was more due to my ability in connecting with people than to what I learned during university. Because I mean, at university it was more like theory, of course, history of art, history of film, this kind of stuff, but the practical things like how to use a camera, how to do this, to do that, editing, this kind of stuff was something that I learned on my own. In the beginning I was struggling like a lot to find clients, because I was new to that kind of area. So I was searching for people, I was asking if people needed, I don't know, some help with their contents, with social media, all this kind of stuff. And I also tried to reach out to people who were more experienced than me, like for example professionals, like photographers, videographers, to ask them to help them even for free, to just learn something, to be out there shooting and doing stuff. But it actually didn't happen, because at one point I started getting the first clients like on my own, and then they became more steady, so I had like more reliable from some points of view clients, and then I also managed to help some friends work with me. So I did basically what I was asking to the other people to do for me. So in the end it was that kind of situation. And during that time, like until mid 2020, so after COVID started, and basically when I moved to Portugal in the end, I was constantly thinking of like if it was a good decision for me to stop studying, or if it was better for me to do a master's degree or this kind of stuff. Of course, I mean, taking into consideration the fact that in order to keep studying, you need to pay more, because it's more like advanced degrees, it's more niche things. Maybe you have to move to a bigger city or this kind of stuff. So, but I was still pondering that option, if it was an option or not, this kind of stuff. So in 2019, I only took like a graphic design course that actually had a certain cost. And the thing is that it ended 1 month before the beginning of COVID, so it didn't leave me like a lot of time to make it, to put it into practice with actual people, with actual companies, this kind of stuff. So I managed during that year, with the things that I was learning with this graphic design course, to implement basically what I was already doing with photography and videography, to get more clients related to that as well. At the same time, my idea was also to try and get into a company after this course, but it ended when COVID started, so there was not this possibility. So in the end it was nice, it taught me like a lot of stuff about Photoshop, Illustrator, other programs, and at the same time it left me with a bitter taste in my mouth, you know. And what I saw, like for my friends who went on studying, like varies a lot, because it depends on a lot of factors, like for example financial possibilities, the willingness of a person to go on with projects, to learn, to actually put themselves into the game from some points of view. Yeah, so it depends on a lot of factors, so that's why I don't know, I cannot answer to this particular question that no one asked, but I'm asking it to myself, that is if it was worth or not to go on study with like to get another degree or this kind of stuff. What I know for sure is that for me and for my friends, like we all kept very fond memories of that period, because I think that it's mostly because it was the last period before leaving the nest, you know, and start exploring the world as 23, 24 years old adults. So yeah, probably it was for that and for the reasons that I explained before. To put it simply, I think that if you don't have like big financial possibilities or the possibility to go study in a bigger city or this kind of stuff, this kind of path, this kind of university, arts university, doesn't give you a lot of connections, because I think that these things maybe, I don't know, because I didn't do that, so I only have like a few examples, but a few examples don't make the rule in the end. So I think that maybe if you have some money to spend and you want to go on studying, there's a possibility to get to these connections, moving to another place, doing something more niche, more particular, like focusing on something in particular. Because for me, for example, and I'm a person who likes to learn new things, to put myself, out there, do things, and do more things and this kind of stuff, it didn't go as planned, on the contrary almost, because to this day, 5 years later, of course I also moved to another country. It's different, the work situation maybe is different, but still I'm very close to a capital city. That is a different situation from the one that I had when I was in Italy. At the same time, I'm doing a job that is my job is totally unrelated to what I studied, and I keep hoping that my projects on Instagram, here on YouTube, my presets, my prints, all this kind of stuff will work out sooner or later. Sooner will be better. So I personally think that doing college for me was a good thing, because when you try to do art, you have to be, you need stimuli, you need to be stimulated, you need to be in an environment that allows you to grow from that point of view, to get new ideas, to talk with people, to share ideas, this kind of stuff. And university for me was exactly that. So basically what I wanted to say in this video, just to give it like a proper conclusion and a direction from point A to point B, is that for me, college, university, as you call it, studying arts in general was important for my growth, as I just said, was important for a lot of stuff. At the same time, the job market in 2025 is another thing, unfortunately. So to this day, what I studied is a thing of mine, because I like to do my projects, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do the university and learn new things that now I can implement I created like a sort of mixture of knowledge from university, from outside university, from people that I met, this kind of stuff. So from that point of view is good. At the same time, it's not directly a job, it's not a steady income, things that we unfortunately need in 2025 as adults. And so that's basically it. In my opinion, you should first try to analyze yourself, your passions, your hobbies, this kind of stuff, and to discover what these passions really are. Because in my case, when I was at university, every day I was talking about cinema, I was talking about art, but it was nice for me. It was something that I really, really liked, really enjoyed, and the people around me were like this. So if you are not like this, if art, cinema, photography is not your bread and butter, it's just something that you're interested in from some points of view, I don't think that art university is for you. Because guys, because it's very simple. Just to, I already said it, but I'm going to finish this video now with this. It's not said, it's not obvious that you will get a job in the arts field, because it's not, guys. It's not. So what you can get, what you can keep with you in your backpack of life from some points of view is the experience, and is the fact that you studied something that you enjoyed. And maybe if in the future you will have like a successful art project, like in every kind of art in area, this knowledge that you got from university will be part of it, because it's part of your structure as an artist, as a professional artist, as a freelancer, as whatever you want to call it. So it's this basically. Before everything else, you need to like it. That's the most important thing. And that's it. It may sound banal, it may sound obvious, but it's not, because at least even if it didn't allow me to get to the positions where I wanted to be. At least I have good memories about that, and my friends have good memories about that, and it was like a really, really nice period. Studying what I wanted to study, getting to know interesting people, that was it. And in that period, I really felt alive, and I really felt like every day was learning something new, doing something important, because to me it was important. So yeah, that's it in the end. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you are undecided between more types of universities, kind of stuff, subjects to study, all this kind of stuff, I hope that it helped you. And yeah, that's my experience. In the end, I'm a single person, I'm only a human being, so everyone has its own experience, but mine was this, and I hope it helped. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, you know, the usual drill. If you want to comment with your own experience, with what you think of studying art at university, it's, I mean, to me it's interesting, it's an interesting topic. We can go on with the conversation in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Bye guys.